In those days, when it was a British barracks, it wasn't as big as it is now. The back building outside here was built later by the Oblates as part of the reformatory, as indeed was the church. And the central bit, which was the original barracks, later the religious lived in there. And down below at the lower range, which is now workshops and classrooms, but originally would have been stables and stores. And while elements of it have been retained, no more than here, a great deal of work has been done since then. So the barracks consisted of this main building where the soldiers were, and the armory and the stables. There is a drawing by de Noyer, which was done in 1840, which gives a good illustration of that. In the British Army, there's a great divide between officers and men. And it has the unusual feature here that the commanding officers' quarters are outside of the barracks, out on the main road outside. And that was a youth hostel for many years after the close of the barracks, and it's now a private residence. There were 75 soldiers, and then I suppose maybe a dozen officers. And the whole thing lasted less than 20 years because the rebels began, Dwyer and Holt began to realize, well, we can't beat them and they can't catch us. So it was catch-22. So they sued for terms. Holt approached Lord Powerscourt and Dwyer approached the Humes in Humewood House further down South Wicklow, because Holt was commanding the people in North Wicklow and Dwyer was South Wicklow. And they sued for terms. They were given passage as free men to the New World. And there is a book called the Telecherry Five. They were put on the Telecherry ship in Arklow and set sail, as they thought, for the New World, which of course is America. And although they weren't educated men, over the weeks, they began to notice that the sun was always on the right. And from the little bit of geography that they knew, they figured out wherever this ship is going, it's not going to America. So they ended up in Australia. And in the case of Dwyer, he died in Australia in 1825. Holt agreed with the British, some kind of agreement made with him that he could come back, provided he kept the head down. So he came back to Ireland and he ran a pub in Ainger Street, and he's buried here in Dublin.